making so far?
Oh, I'm just excited to be here. I'm loving it, and I think I'm excited to be able to get to the point where I can get out a little bit more and learn a little bit more. But been downtown, of course, and been to different restaurants, and just had an opportunity to visit. Went to church, and so just getting a chance to try to feel my way around a little bit.
Building the community.
Yeah.
I like it. Perfect. Obviously you've been at the helm now for about a month.
Yep.
So, what's the first steps right now with your coaching
definitely.
staff?
Great question. I think, like I said, is most important thing is recruiting. We're trying to make sure that we can build on our team and get the right pieces so we can be ready. And I think that was the most important part. Me getting my staff together, getting them here, and then just really building with the players, the returners that are there. And then being there for them, and transition is hard for anyone, right? And so when you have that transition, you have turnover. I just want to make sure that they understand and know that they have us, and that we're going to build this together. And every single day we're going to be there, and so that part has been really, really good.
Well, speaking of transition, you stayed in the kind of Kentucky, Cincinnati area for a while, and then went all the way to Mississippi State, and now you're here in Macon. So how's that transition been?
You know what? It's actually been great, and I think being able to be in Mississippi and be in Starkville and be in the South, right? I really understood and kind of knew that I really like it. And, I'm very fortunate. My husband has his family that is from the South. So, so it's been good.
It's kind of a weekly question is who's on your roster? Anymore that's a 50-week.
Or can you even say who's on your roster?
You can say who's not in the portal.
Yeah, well,
as of right now.
Yeah, I think that's something that you said. We're just continuing to build toward that. Just know that we do have some returners on there, and then I think here soon we'll be able to release our roster for what is coming up.
For what it is at this point.
Yes, definitely.
You talked a little bit about the challenges, how it is now transfer portal, like that. Coaches have opinions on the transfer portal, but regardless of that, what is your approach to it?
Yeah.
Do you have a strategy when you approach it? Do you have specific players you go after? Do you target schools? How do you manage that?
Well, I think it depends on the situation. And for me, and for our staff coming in, we definitely have to hit that because before we got here, there were some players that went in the portal, decided to go to other places for them. So I think the most important thing about that is, as I talked about earlier, the relationship piece, getting a chance to know people, and then people coming back around and us finding the right fit, right? And so it's not going anywhere. It's going to be here. You have to embrace it, but you also have to understand and know what's going to be good for you and your program. So for right now, that's something that we had to do. But we also, too, will go in a junior college route. We'll go to a lot of different. So we're just trying to make sure that we can build a great foundation for us to start, and then we'll be able to see where we move forward next after this following season.
We kind of have that work hard, play hard mentality. I've seen your Twitter posts from the past with Mississippi State players. It seemed like you guys are having a great time, always laughing, smiling. Bringing that relationship dynamic, obviously it takes talent to win, but being that close with your players, it pushed you over the edge. So how does that help you?
Well, I think that's why, I discussed that earlier about making sure that I can build those relationships with our players that we have right now. The recruiting part, that's what I love. I love it. So the relationship piece is if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to have them transfer it onto the floor, right? So I think that for me and for our staff, that's what we love to do. And so we'll continue to keep doing that, and we want to find players that want that and want to be a part of that and want those relationships, not only with the assistant coach, but also with the head coach.
How much did you know? Did you know Susie before?
I did know Susie.
Yeah?
Yes, very much so. I always saw on the recruiting trail. We always had great conversations, and so again, kudos to her for everything that being that she brought to Mercer women's basketball. And again, it was another big reason why myself and I thought this would be an amazing fit for myself.
Have you talked to her since she resigned and since you took over at all?
I talked to her briefly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get the scouting report.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I think at the end of the day, as I said earlier, I watch a lot of basketball anyway. I'm very familiar with the conference. I think at the end of the day, you don't know about anybody's roster anymore.
Yeah.
We're never going to know until the season starts and then they get ready to start playing. So, as far as scouting reports, I think at the end of the day, what we really want to do is just focus on who we can become, and then let everybody else kind of worry about our scouting report.
Well, I was going to say, I hate to nitpick, but with that scouting report, I mean, is there any former players, any relationships where maybe in the past you have that connection that'll help you now? Or any connections within the area, relationships that could help you with recruiting?
Oh, definitely. I think that's the greatest thing about have been in coaching for so long. It's definitely play. I'm getting phone calls and texts every single day about players, or can this player help you, or can, so that is something that those relationships, I'm grateful that I have, and definitely have had a couple of players that have really helped me since I've been here.
Now, you've been here for over a month, and you got up there. You knew you were going to be emotional, but were you surprised a little bit that you got emotional? Just 'cause it's almost like it's not a part of the process, but it is. Now you're out there. People see you.
No, I'm not, because I am who I am, and I'm not afraid to show that emotion or those things, because at the end of the day, it's real, and so that's just a lot of that is passion. Passion comes from the inside, because that's how grateful I am to be standing here and having the opportunity to lead my own program again.
Now, at some point, 2 weeks into the first rounds of practice, those players are going to think, wait a minute, this is the same woman who got up on stage and started losing. Are you that fiery? Your passion goes from emotion to basketball.
Yeah, I think that as you grow as a coach, I think you understand, and you have to understand the dynamics of your team, where you're at, what that looks like. I would never hold back just because, and they'll know that. There'll be a lot of times where we're going to have encounters where they might see that emotional side of me. Because at the end of the day, the transparency and being that way is something to me that shows them they don't want to just think that I'm Coach Hurd on the court. I want them to know who Coach Hurd is off the floor, too.
Very well put.
Yeah.
You talked about how passionate you are about the game. Is there any specific areas or things, whether from playing against or coaching players so far, that really informs who you are as a coach in a specific moment that you think it's hard to pick one that defines you, but maybe one that you think are the most fundamentally or one that impacts your philosophy.
Yeah, so as soon as you said that, I automatically thought about my first championship as the coach at Western Kentucky, because it was my alma mater. And so winning that championship in my second year as a head coach there is something that definitely sticks out as far as the passion and who I am. And, so that would probably be it.
It seems like this is probably a good time to take a new job, because women's basketball the last 2 years has just exploded, and you have a chance to kind of get some momentum. Mm-hmm. The program here is what it is. A little sluggish last year or two, but the banners are here and everything is in place. Do you feel a little more excited than usual, just because you can build on everything that's been going on?
Women's basketball has definitely became. You look at all the people that watch the championship, right? So women's basketball has went to a whole nother level, and I'm definitely excited to be able to be where I am at right now, to be a part of it, because I agree with you. I think it's going to do nothing but continue to grow more and more.
Now, what's your range that you're going to let somebody shoot? Are you allowing logo shots? If they get a steal, they can shoot a logo shot.
If they get a steal and they shoot a logo shot, they better make it.
At least if they're
playing defense, I guess they get a chance.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
because that's going to take away a possession from us. So yeah, but we're gonna have a little fun.
Caitlin Clark obviously changed that whole perspective. Now, this being a mid-major school, I mean, does NIL talks? How do you feel about that?
I think at the end of the day, that's the climate of athletics, right? And I think, for me, and I think at this level, you have to understand, I feel very fortunate. I've been able to witness it. I was just in the SEC. So, I understand and know what that looks like. So for us, I think it's just going to be about who we are and what that entails for us being at this moment in this time.
Well, also we talked a lot about some iconic coaches up there, even Dawn Staley. I mean, is there any icons you look up to?
I I think Sybil talked about my coach. That's my mentor, and that's, when I see, why I am where I am, I think about him. Don Staley is phenomenal for not just me, but for a lot of women or female coaches and coaches in general in the game. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for her friendship, her sisterhood, and there's many more people that have poured into me, and I'm grateful for that. And so at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I can pay it forward and give that also to others. So yeah.
I think last thing for me, I noticed the team hurt wristband, and it's really cool. Is there a story behind that?
Yeah, the story is my husband that's standing right there. Team hurt. That's us. So, yeah,
waiting patiently.
Yes. So that is that's something that that represents who we are. And again, as I said up there, I'm very fortunate and blessed to have my best friend and someone that supports me and understands that this is my passion and my love. And so that's what that is. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, of course.
I'm good. Thank you so much.